Hey guys!
Hi everyone!
Happy Friday! Welcome to our live video blog. So today we're going to be talking about weak core muscles in relation to low back pain. And the question that we're posing today, it's the research that we've done, Dr. David did some research for this one for us, is it true that you have to have weak core muscles to have low back pain? That's what we're going to be discussing. So we know that you hear a lot of people talk about back pain. You know, your friends, your family, maybe when you're sitting down at a cafe, for example, you might overhear other people saying, oh my gosh, my back's sore. So it actually is really, really prevalent. When we look at the stats, there's about 4 million Australians, or 16% of the population, that have back pain. And if we look at the Australian Bureau of Statistics, 2017-18, we know that at some point, some of the statistics show us as well that through your whole lifespan, really 70 to 90% of people will have some form of back pain or back issues, which is really huge statistics. So that's why you hear people talking about back pain a lot. So let's talk about the next section, guys.
Yeah, definitely. So that is a really scary statistic when we think about that so many people experience back pain. So we really want to get to the bottom of why people actually get back pain. Now, the reason why we're talking about our core in relation to that, if we realize and see that we don't have good, strong core muscles to support and stabilize our trunk and our spine, we actually have a lot of delicate tissues, lots of discs in our back, and if we don't have that core to help stabilize, that can cause a lot of stiffness and tension in our back. So sometimes instinctively we want to release a lot of the tension from these muscles, but unless we can actually engage and switch on our core, we're not going to be able to release off that tension in the back, which is like the muscle balance videos that we've done previously in blogs and in videos as well, where we talk about if one muscle is really tight and the other one isn't switching on, then unless we switch this one on, the other tight muscle isn't going to relax.
Yeah, so Dr. Angie has talked about core firing properly. So how does it fire appropriately? It's actually, you've got to consider it a cylinder. So you've got the abdominals, transverse abdominals, and you've got your rectus abdominis as the walls. You've also got the erector spinae as part of the back of the muscle, back of the cylinder there. But you also have your diaphragm and your pelvic floor. All components actually need to be firing appropriately, otherwise you can't stabilize that core properly. So what happens if some of those muscles aren't firing properly? You've got usual daily stresses, but the muscles aren't going to feel it. It's actually going to be the tissues in the back, the more static muscles, static structures, so your joints and your discs that are actually going to feel it, and the ligaments as well. So this is probably where the main pain generators are coming from, but it's usually because you're not activating these muscles together and in the right order and appropriately. So that's going to be one of your big drivers there.
Yeah, really great points, Dr. James. Dr. James, thank you.
Yes.
So a really simple exercise you can do to contract that cylinder that Dr. James has been talking about is just to put your hands over your belly button. And most people think we need to suck in to activate our core. A better way is to actually gently push it out and feel your belly button pushing into your hands. That gets that cylinder really nice. All those muscles Dr. James just mentioned, we're activating all those muscles now. And when you do that, the next tricky little bit is you have to practice breathing in and out with that little bit of pressure staying out. And that's a really good cylinder contraction of your muscles.
Yeah, so if you think that maybe you don't have a really strong core, or if you're worried about the strength of your abdominals, even if you aren't experiencing any back pain yet, or if you do experience back pain, if you think that maybe you want to see if there is something we can do to help you, then we would love to see if there is something we can do to help. So if you are interested, then write down below in the comment section core, and we'll get in contact with you and see if there is something we can do to help, and then go in and do an assessment and formulate a really good management plan for you.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks, Dr. James. Thanks, Dr. James. Write core down below, guys, and one of our doctors will personally write to you just to see if you're a right fit to come into our practice. And I think you mentioned we got a little special offer we're doing today. Yeah, we're going to do a special offer for someone who, if you get in a conversation with our chiropractor and we think we can help you, we do have a little special offer for someone to come in today, because we know that this is so prevalent and it does not need to be. So have an awesome weekend, guys.
No worries. Thanks,
Have a great
guys.
one.
Bye.
See you next time.